people asked me to do a 180 tutorial, so I guess I'm going to break down how I learned 180s anyways. Might not be the same for you, but you know, it's almost all the same in a way. Let's do it. Probably the first thing I would say to learn when you're learning 180s would definitely be get a good bunny hop. I mean, that's just like necessary building block to any trick, really. Definitely be comfortable with at least like a foot of air to maybe 2 feet. I mean, it's all with how fast you spin and how hard you spin. Like honestly, if you're spinning hard enough to throw a 3, you can get away with only like a foot of air. But if you're not spinning that fast or that hard, you may want to hop a little higher or turn a little harder. For a bunny hop, just pull up the front tire, bring up the back with your legs, and land firmly. Alright, the next thing you'd probably want to get comfortable with would definitely be fakies, like endo off a wall to like, you know, roll out backwards, or pop up like a quarter, like come up a quarter, just kind of pop down during a fakie if you had a quarter pipe available. If not, a hill. Come up a hill and just kind of like give a quick little bunny hop, fakie out, pivot out, half cab out, whatever you're more comfortable with. I mean, if you can get into the trick, what's the point in getting into it if you can't get out of the trick? I mean, just common sense. All a fakie is just rolling backwards on your bike. For practicing that, do endos. Pivot on or lean up against a wall and bring it right back. Alright. After all that, I guess, you would start getting into the 180, I guess, would be now to talk about. All starts out with a good carve. Like, don't carve too much, because then, I mean, you're gonna spin it more likely. I mean, if you carve 90, but definitely just get away with a good, you know, turn just slightly. Some people, you can just straight hop it. Yeah, that carve is good for learning. Like, if you're on a bank, come into it gently, just kind of like start mellow and wide, and then just kind of like narrow yourself into where you're doing eventually a straight, you know, 180 hop, and simple as that. I guess the next thing that you definitely want to get like dialed down would be landing the 180. Like once you're coming backwards, it's gonna be the same as if you practice doing the fakie rollbacks. Like when you're landing, definitely land firm. Like know you're gonna make it out of it. You gotta be confident with it. Like you gotta commit to it. The second you land backwards, you can't just throw your feet down or whatever. That's like the only major thing that could definitely bail out of. Or if you're one of those people who kind of like throws the foot down during the spin, don't throw your foot down during the spin, and don't do the whole land backwards and throw your feet down or stuff like that, you know. Another thing you can definitely do once you've mastered getting your 180s and rolling out of them and stuff like that, definitely go for like variations or off of objects like curbs, ledges, wedge ramps, you know, fly out of quarter pipes, disaster stalls, into grinds, out of grinds, stuff like that. I mean, it's one of those tricks that you can literally take anywhere and do on anything. Like you can walk into a skate park and there's literally like everything in there you can do it on 180 on. You don't have to just do it flat, but definitely get comfortable doing them, you know, flat or out of a flat or out of a bank before you go crazy with them. Thank you. Up curves is an easy 180 variation to do. Personal favorite variation is out of grinds like Feebles. Down stair sets is always a good variation for 180s. Into grinds may be hard, but it is always a great looking way to do a variation of a 180. Alright, so now that you've gotten 180s down, you know a couple variations, take them out there and start doing them, get them dialed, and that's about it. That's all I can say. It's Andrew from Riot Bike Cat, signing out.
Go.
Sound check, 2 1 2 1 1 2.